Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2024 Ford Ranger, midsize pickup truck. Final assembly location, Wayne, Michigan.
Yeah, baby.
Available trim levels, XL, XLT, Lariat, and Raptor. Now, I will tell you that I drove 2 Rangers back to back. I just got out of the Raptor, which I'll review next week. This is not the Raptor, okay? So it falls under the XL, XLT, and Lariat trim levels. Then I had the Super Crew 4x4 Lariat, standard pickup truck, midsize as we call it. 5 seats in it. It was all new for 2024. Exterior features Ford-esque styling with attractive grille design. Body side sculpting on regular trims adds to the overall look. And I say regular trims because the Raptor is got different trim and different sculpting on the side. Didn't know that. Had to look. Faux vent on the front fenders, like that. Tailgate and rear lighting are modern and add to its attractiveness. Overall, this truck gets high marks for exterior design. What could use improvement? Nothing. Interior highlights. Again, high marks for interior design. Ford knows trucks, and they know how to build them, and they did a bang-up job on this one. This trim level comes with larger infotainment screen, looks and works great. Cubby above the glove box is really nice. It's a handy feature, especially for your passenger. Materials throughout the cabin are nice, and they're also of the heavy-duty variety. So it's not going to be the lush, plush velvet in Mom's Cadillac in that. What I liked, even the cloth seats are attractive and comfortable. What could use improvement? Some instrument gauges a little bit too small for these old eyes to read clearly. For instance, the gas gauge.
Oh, boy.
It's tiny, and you've got to really pay attention and look at it.
You got to look for it.
You have to look for it. And once you get there, okay, where is the gas? Is it a quarter of a tank? I really can't tell. So that matters to you, then complain. 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that turns out 270 horsepower. You're going, oh, well, that's not much. Yeah, it's matched actually pretty well with this mid-size truck. 310 pound-feet of torque, 10-speed automatic transmission, tow rating 7,500 pounds. That's a lot. Haul rating 1,800 pounds. Now, manufacturer miles per gallon, city 19. It's rated 23 on the highway for combined at 20. I averaged 21.1 miles per gallon over 406.9 miles. What I liked about it, plenty of pep and capability with this engine transmission combination. And the reason that they're able to get away with 270 horsepower is that 10-speed automatic transmission. And we talked to the guy at Stellantis last week that forget the drive ratio in the rear axle these days, they do it all in the transmission. And man, I'm telling you, that 10-speed automatic transmission, sweet.
Makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, it really does. Ride and handling is great, especially for an unloaded pickup truck, because really to be a true tester, you need to put about 1,000 pounds in the bed and or tow something with it to get the real gist of what that truck is made for. If you're just going to buy the truck because you like the way that it looks, great, you don't have to worry about it. It's still a good ride. But to do it the right way, you got to put a load on it, and I didn't do that. Shame on me.
Did you say it was a compact or mid-size pickup?
It's a mid-size.
Okay.
The compact is the Maverick. We're
Right.
going to get to that in just a second. Ride and handling, great in my opinion. What could use improvement? If you want more of this size truck, get the Raptor. You'll understand why when I tell you this. Base trim price, $55,620. Price is tested, $60,050. Base model price, $32,670. Shop this truck if you really are interested in that size truck. Now, the competitors, the Chevy Colorado starts at $29,500. Now, the Ford, again, base is $32,670. Base on the Chevy Colorado, $29,500. Toyota Tacoma starts at $33,700, right in the ballpark with it. And the smaller Ford Maverick, and I threw this in there just so you get an idea. The smaller Ford Maverick starts at $23,920. That's $10,000 less on a starting price than the Ranger. Does it have the capability? No. It's a smaller, it's a different truck. But
right.
I thought it would be interesting to know what's the difference. Well, I like the Maverick, but I like the Ranger, not quite sure. Don't really care about the size as much. Well, the Maverick is definitely smaller, but starts at $23,900.
Yeah, so you got the Maverick, the Ranger, the 150, and, the price
Yes.
steps up accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, I really did like it a lot. And, I go back to the original Ranger. You still see those stupid things on the road. They've got to have 1 million miles on them, and the guys that have those, they take care of them.
Yeah.
And
Nothing wrong with that.
and it looks nothing wrong with that
You
at
can't
all.
replace them.
That's right, you can't. And I'm sure that there are plenty of replacement parts available for them as well. All right, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We're back after this quick break. We appreciate you, and time now for Jeff's car culture.
Here we
Classic cars that didn't live up to expectations.
betcha.
Boy, there's a ton of those.
Yeah, well, what doesn't and doesn't qualify as a failed, ugly muscle car should be pretty straightforward. Do they lack engine power, or they look like they've just been replaced? It's enough to sway opinions negatively on its own. Do they shove gas sipper engines into what should be a sports car? More to the point, does it take a classic muscle car nameplate and turn it into something as a bad economy car? Well, we're about to find out. So here's one. 5th generation Dodge Charger with only 84 horsepower.
What?
Yeah, that's why I paused.
my
Offered
God.
by the time of the early 80s, Dodge at least attempted to lend some sporting credentials to this generation Charger, with an optional turbocharger for its engine. Shelby even put a unique performance touch on a handful during his brief exodus from Ford. Still, this was nothing more like the Chargers that we know and love, and its reputation just went downhill. Next one we have is a Ford Mustang 2 King Cobra. In fairness, people really do like the look of this, and they're fond of it for this generation of Mustang. Never mind the newly minted emissions restrictions that laid waste to the engine power. The Mustang 2 King Cobra did at least look the part. Still, 139 horsepower from a 302 cubic inch V8 was underwhelming in the mid to late 70s. Add the blob-like styling, and the Mustang 2 King Cobra cemented its status as a pariah. One that'll never be held in the same regard as
Let me ask you,
before.
what is that, a bird on the hood?
That is a bird. What do they call it? A screaming chicken from
No,
Pontiac.
but they stole it from Pontiac.
I don't
No,
know.
that looks more. It looks really more like the Screaming Chicken, not a.
Whatever.
Maybe it's
Thunderbird.
a dragonfly or
a
something.
No, I
dragonfly.
think that's
that-
a snake right there at the
Oh,
front.
it's
at the
King
end-
Cobra. There you go.
Yeah, there's a
There you-
snake
Mike got it.
right
Ding,
there.
ding, ding.
Oh, God.
Well, the next one we got
Snake
is
with wings.
6th generation Olds 442. Many of the much beloved 2nd generation Olds 442s left the factory with a mighty 455. I had a 455 in my 71.
What's that one got? 4.5?
No, it was a 455. By the time the 6th generation hit the scene, there was little left for the original flair. It was kind of laughable. There's no DNA shared with the older cars in this visual department whatsoever. It's just a mid-80s Cutlass Calais with a 2.3-liter quad 4 output of 180 horsepower. But that depends on whether you have the W40 or the W41 designation. At least that's the number GM claimed back in the day. The next one, Don will love this one, is a C3 Corvette after 1973. That's important to know.
I had one.
Take this with a grain of salt, Don, because vets from the C3 era are starkly divided between pre-73 gas crisis models and the ones built afterwards.
I had the one afterwards.
After the oil crisis, the Corvette platform continuously neutered year by year the staggering degree.
Goes along with my personality, doesn't it?
Big V8s that once cranked 350 horses or more suddenly found themselves making a fraction of that. The worst of the worst was the 1980 California Spec Corvette with a 305 V8, 180 horses.
That's what mine had.
Yep. That's all you got from that motor. Yeah, it was a disgrace. So, too, were the looks altered by years and years of design. Body lines became softer, curb weights rose, and the C3 Corvette became a large, less aggressive-looking vehicle. And the last one I have on my list is a 9th generation Chevrolet Impala SS. Credit to it, the 9th generation Impala SS sported a 5.3-liter LS V8.
Shot
No
color,
pipsqueak of an
23.
engine, On that alone, any coupe or sedan could have the foundations of a great muscle car. But the Impala SS simply fell flat in that regard. Trim-specific alloy wheels and a small spoiler that you could just easily find on a Honda, and some SS badging, well, which wasn't that great. But there's a difference in the Impala SS from one of its lower, less powerful trims. It's just a normal-looking midsize-ish sedan by most expectations. Did we mention that it's front-wheel drive? No, I don't think we did, but that's part of it as well. As an affront to historic nameplate, the people know and love, the Impala is by far the worst offender of this disrespecting of its ancestors.
Two thoughts here. Did you see Cletus McFarland's post this week?
No, I did not. I don't follow him.
Where he had an Altima race. There must have been 75 Altimas at his racetrack down in Florida, all racing at the same time on the same track. It was absolutely hysterical. All front-wheel drive cars. They were doing donuts with front-wheel drive cars out there in the middle of the field. It was absolutely hysterical. And the other thought, that going back to this whole stuff with the SS badging, it's kind of like having a Cadillac and putting the V emblem that you bought from the Cadillac store into a regular Cadillac.
Yeah, or an SRX. That'd be great.
Or get one that's like 3 sizes too big to make sure it really stands
out. Yeah.
No, you have to be proportionate if you're going to do it. If you're going to try to fool people and be a clone, be proportionate.
Well,
mine was an actual honest dealing. Even though it wasn't, it was. That's all I'm going to say.
So why don't you tell that story?
When I was on the road for American Tire, I'd drive to San Antonio, I'd drive to Dallas and the local Corpus Christi's and stuff. Anything beyond that, I would fly. So I'm a Cadillac guy. I had a lot of Cadillac friends and dealerships and things, and I used to get my car washed quite often, sometimes twice a day. Hey, what do you charge for a car wash? Well, let me get keys. We'll have it done by the time our meeting's done. So you have an hour-and-a-half meeting. Your car's all spick and span.
It didn't cost you nothing.
Didn't cost me nothing. So there's one time I took it in, and they said, we got a little issue. The 3.6 emblem, the 3 cracked off because it was a brush machine that they were washing them. Okay, just put a new one on. We don't have one. It's going to be several weeks. We got to get it from Detroit. They got a guy with a smelting factory in Europe or whatever. He's got to make one. So I said, all right, what do you got? Well, we got a V. Put it on. So they did.
There's the story of the
V6.
Yeah, there you go, V6. Thank you, Michael. He just verified my whole conversation there.
Oh my God, there you go.
Yeah, and it stayed on there till the day I traded it in. In fact, I think I got more money because they thought it was a V.
And Will Time Car Talk Show continues after this quick break. This morning. Let's get to this hour's car review. We're a little bit late doing that. Mr. Morris has the GT Ford Mustang that he wants to talk to us about.
And I really do. Now, this is the 7th generation of the Ford Mustang, so it's been around a while. It's got some new sheet metal lines on it, but this is the Mustang GT Premium.
That's good looking, brother.
Yeah, it is.
Now, this car comes in 4 trim levels. Excuse me, 5. I can't count. 5 trim levels, with the GT Premium being the top of the line, just short of the new this year Dark Horse. That's really kind of more of a track car. Now, this car is assembled in Flat Rock, Michigan.
All right.
It is the 2024 GT Coupe Premium is the trim level that we're working with, and for some reason, your government calls it a subcompact car, which okay. It does say it will seat 4. I want to point out,
it's a 4-seat sports car. Let's just leave it at that.
Sports car that only weighs 3,800 pounds, so it's nice and light. Front seat, I want to point out, legroom 44.5 inches. Rear seat legroom 29.0 inches. Legroom, rear seat. Put the little ones back there. Up front, you're going to find that you've got the Mustang lighting approach lamp, so you got the little Mustang emblem that's really cool looking on the ground. Auto LED headlamps, LED lights. We got the sequential tail lights. That's something that I've always loved about the Mustang.
Mine's got
sequential. I really like that. Looks really cool. Rain sensing wipers. Got the Brembo braking on it. Black calipers with white lettering. It's kind of different for the GT package. It's got a rear wing on it. It's called the performance wing because it's not just a little spoiler sticking up there. It's got some angles and some things to it that's supposed to help it whenever you get up over speeds you're not supposed to be doing on the street. It's got the active valve exhaust system. Now, I love this. Got different settings you can put on it. You're on the track, got a track mode. You can put the exhaust on it, drowned out all the road noise. Really cool going down the road. But it's also what I got what I call the 2 a.m. setting. You want to come home at 2 a.m. kind of quiet. You can put it down and it muffles it
What
down.
do you know about that?
I'm just saying I've heard stories about people that need to
You're
kind of
such a
sneak
liar.
home at
No, he's
2
just always
a.m.
coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's what it is.
Exactly. Well, he's meeting his granddaughter that's just coming in the front door
Yeah,
from
there
work
you
in
go.
half the night.
Yeah, yeah. And we were rolling on some optional 19-inch wheels. Has some 355 gears in the back of this thing. So it's got a little juice on it. So it's got, what I really liked, it's got some of the newer age styling on it, but it's got a lot of the classic Mustang touches, you know, like the taillights and the hood scoop, things like that. Now you get to the interior, and this is where it's been some updates done. Got a black leather onyx leather trim across the interior, front bucket seats. The rear seat is a split folding. It's got ambient lighting on the inside of it that you can adjust. Now, what's new is it's got a 12.4-inch LCD digital instrument cluster that you can adjust and kind of range the way you want it. 13.2-inch LCD center stack screen. This is where you're going to find your convenience controls, your navigation, your audio, the whole infotainment system set up. It also has a wireless charger down at the bottom of that stack, and it's kind of vented, but for mine, it made my phone hot, and it would actually shut down for some reason. Kind of weird on the way that worked. Got paddle shifters, 12-speaker B&O audio system, and it handles the Ford Sync 4 is what is the infotainment system. And I thought it was a little slow reacting, so I could literally crank the car up, back out, and be headed down the road before it cycles up and brings up all the things that I want to mess with on it that I'm supposed to set.
I want to go back to the B&O sound system. Isn't it the B&O Railroad?
Yeah.
Used to be a B&O Railroad.
Yeah, but you got
Not
to
that.
pass go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Up under the hood, 5.0-liter V8. Now, this is the engine they've had in it for several years, different variations. This one has 480 horsepower.
Dang.
At 7,150 RPM. Now, it also has 486 pound-feet of torque at 7,200 RPM. So you got to wind it up, and when you get up, it's all up there in that upper power band. We had the 10-speed automatic behind it. Now, the EPA says you should be looking for about 16 miles to the gallon city, 24 on the highway, and 19 combined. I drove this vehicle 446.5 miles, and I averaged 18.6 miles per gallon in it, and I was quite happy with that, considering
your lead foot.
Well, it becomes very obvious with the lightweight and high horsepower why you see so many of these out on the road driven by younger people. It's easy to get into it. It really is. So the styling.
The throttle is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I say I like the styling on it. It does create some vision issues, a few little blind spots whenever you get to the pillars, particularly on the fastback model. And you can, if you're low riding in it, if you're being cool and low riding, it's definitely there. Got a typically firm ride for a sports car, but you can turn up the audio and the exhaust and drown out all that business. Base trim price on this vehicle is $47,390, which is another reason you see so many of them.
$47,000, okay.
Yep. The base model price is $31,920. And I want to point out that is a 2.3-liter EcoBoost engine with 315 horsepower. So this is not a stripper model with no juice to it. Our MSRP is tested, $61,580. That had a few options on it. Looking for something to compare it to. I mean, obviously the Dodge Challenger that they don't make anymore, but I found a 2023. They started around 30. 24 Chevrolet Camaro starts at $32,495, and the 24 Nissan Z started at $42,970. So there's some more two-door coupe, small 4-passenger vehicles that you can compare it to, but it's definitely the Mustang. If you're looking for a Mustang, it's one you're looking for.
Thank you, sir. Time now for the cruise in.